Hey guys, Spencer here. Ryan is sick, so unfortunately we weren't able to record our episode for this week, but we have pulled out a very special episode from our archives for you, so enjoy.
Oh, hi. Thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage, 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 garbage.
Hey, just chillin' for the people that spent some cash. I'm feeling like a piece of trash. Hey, my name's Ryan K. I'm here to say that Spencer pounds on pads like every day. Yeah, we talk about aliens and UFOs. Try to make the people scream, never say oh no. They only say oh yes, cause everything we speak every hour is fresh. It's the What If Podcast.
Hey bruh.
What's up, man?
Cool raps.
Thanks, cool beats.
Thanks, dude.
It's almost like we do this every once in a while or something.
What's going on with you?
Dude, I'm pretty good.
That didn't sound convincing at all.
Well,
Fair
you
enough.
know,
That happens.
I had a long day.
Happens to the best of them.
Worked from like 8 to 6 today, so you know I'm a little loopy.
Cool.
Didn't
cool.
eat lunch. Just had some snacks.
Well, you shouldn't do that. You should be nutritionalized and hydrazized at all times.
I'm very hydrazized because they give us LaCroix.
Okay.
So I'm LaCroixed up all the time.
I had to turn off the humidifier before we recorded because it's too bubbly.
It's too bubbly. It's too humidity
Every
here.
like 30 seconds or so it goes. Bloop.
Oh, is that why? Oh.
Yeah. So we're gonna be real dry. Sorry.
It's like when you know those. You ever seen those pitchers that are shaped like fish, and when you tip them, the water hits the angle and the pitcher at the right angle, and it goes like bloop, and it sounds like a fish gurgle bubble.
No.
If you Google fish pitchers or gurgle pitcher, I think it's gurgle pitcher.
Okay.
They make like real weird sounds.
Neat.
Some people got a lot of time on their hands.
Yeah, sure. I mean, somebody bought it, I guess. So.
My parents bought one. That's how I found out they were a real thing.
There it is. Dude, I watched Love and Saucers today.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's the guy who paints pictures of aliens that he's had sex with.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I watched the documentary about him today.
That was, somebody put that in the Facebook group, right?
I think so.
Was the article in the Facebook group wasn't about the documentary though, was it?
I don't know. A lot of people have written about this dude because he paints pictures of aliens he's had sex with. It's kind of a unique story.
Yeah, that would make the news occasionally, I'm sure.
So I think it was just another publication of some sort that's written about that guy. His name is David Huggins, is the artist.
Yeah.
But there's a documentary that came out like within the last couple weeks called Love and Saucers.
Is it on Netflix?
No.
Whoa,
it's on Amazon.
All right, I can do that.
Yeah.
Prime, or do you got to buy it?
I think you got to rent it because I have Prime and it made me rent it.
Mm. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
What Amazon products were you recommended
that's a great question.
Since you ordered that movie?
I mean, my Amazon is usually pretty fucked up. Just as a general rule.
I would love the guy whose job it is, or gal whose job it is, to look at their segmentation for people who are on the website. And they're like, cool, all right, so like product recommendations. If these people do this, let's give them this. If these people do this. Hey, yeah, Dave, there's this new movie out that people are watching. What do we show them?
So the related films, the customers who watched this also watched section.
Oh boy, probably pretty strong, I'm sure.
You've got something called Patient 17, which is about a surgeon who claims to remove alien implants.
Yo, that sounds like a topic for a full episode.
You've got Mother, that movie that came out earlier this year, or I guess last year now.
Somebody told me that the last 15 minutes of that movie is the most disturbing 15 minutes of actual film they've ever seen.
It looked pretty messed up just from the trailer.
Not really interested in that.
A lot of just real B-movie UFO documentaries.
Sounds...
The new Blade Runner. Something called American Jedi.
Can you watch the new Blade Runner on Amazon now?
I guess so.
Oh, tight. I missed that in the theater. I might go... You
can only buy it, though, and it's $20. So... Spencer, let's take a look at spencersamazon.com. Recommended for me. We have a bunch of fucked up movies.
Cool.
Something called Alien Reptilian Legacy.
Dope.
Nazis in the CIA.
Bro, the number of Nazi movies needs to go down.
It's because they get looped into every fucking conspiracy ever.
I know, but like, it's like Nazi trains and Nazi gold and Nazis in the CIA and like.
I'm being
it's like Ernest Goes to Camp series, but like with fucking Nazis.
I'm being recommended a lot of different types of edible insects.
Oh yeah, we've threatened to do that for a long time.
Some sneakers. I should buy some more Ultra Boosts. Apparently.
Do you want to do the insects thing?
What? Eat them or talk about them?
Eat them.
Not really. Books about astronomy is apparently a thing I would like. Musical instrument accessories, lots of drum accessories.
Sure.
I need those, I guess.
This is all like very on brand for you.
Yeah, right?
I will say.
Nintendo Switch accessories.
Also very on brand.
And they're telling me I should watch the Twin Peaks reboot. I mean, they kind of nailed it.
I was going to say, Amazon's got you figured out, my guy.
But dude, this movie is phenomenal.
When you say phenomenal.
It's a great documentary about a really weird subject, but yeah, it's just like a really good picture of this guy. Do you know anything about his story?
I know literally nothing other than someone posted in the Facebook group that there was a guy who painted art of him having sex with aliens.
Okay, well, I was sort of familiar with him before, just like I read a couple of those articles about him because, weird alien abduction shit.
Yes.
He's 72 years old. He lives in New Jersey. And he claims that from the time he was 8 years old, he's encountered aliens.
It's actually encountered aliens because that's a bummer.
No, not at 8. That was later.
Okay.
And
I'm happier about that.
he works at a deli in New Jersey.
Swag.
And he also paints. And I think all of his paintings are about his encounters with aliens.
I like this guy.
And you want to hear about a few of his encounters?
Why not?
Okay.
We've got time today. I brought some stories, but we can do that later.
Starting when he was 8, he grew up in Georgia in like very rural, lived on a farm, Georgia. And his first encounter was when he was 8 years old. He claims to have seen what he called, quote, a little hairy guy with large glowing eyes, who in his paintings looks like a miniature Bigfoot.
Sweet.
Like Bigfoot, but maybe
Littlefoot?
4. That's a dinosaur, but maybe like 4 feet tall.
But also
like 4 foot tall, glowing eyed Bigfoot. Like if you combined Bigfoot and Mothman and then shrunk them.
Middlefoot?
Sure. Is that like a Lord of the Rings?
No, I'm just big little. I mean, if Bigfoot is Bigfoot because he's big and has big feet. So if he's 5'6", he's like middle foot, medium foot, midfoot.
So he was walking through his field and
midfoot
shows up behind him. Sounds like a
roast. Okay, midfoot.
Oh, I thought you meant like a cut of meat, like a.
Yes, I'd like a slice of the midfoot.
So he saw Midfoot and he just ran away, and Midfoot stumbled back into the woods. That was his first encounter. Okay. Not sure how he decided that was an alien because he just saw a little furry guy running around.
Which could have been like a raccoon.
Like a small bear or something.
Or a small bear. Yeah, bear cub for sure.
Bears in Georgia?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
I don't know. I've never been.
I mean, I've never been, nor have I ever like seen them, but I know that vast parts of Georgia are like forests and mountains and shit. Not mountains.
Hey Siri, but are there bears in Georgia?
Oh, dude, did you see we got hit up?
Okay, here's what I found.
Oh, she didn't actually
answer. That's a restaurant called the Bear's Den, you
fucking robot.
Siri, I meant the animal.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
If you like, I can search the web for Siri, I meant the animal.
No, don't do that. Please go away. So the second time, we don't know if there are bears in Georgia, guys. You probably have your phone in your pocket. You can look it up.
I do. I will.
I meant the listeners.
Okay. Quick aside. Did you see that we got a second volunteer to be our fact checker / science person?
No, I missed that.
So I definitely went through our spam folder and
Oh.
And
That's a thing I've never thought to do.
Yeah, we had a shitload of messages that got caught in our spam folder that were actually website submissions.
Sorry, guys.
There was literally like 40 emails in our spam that were actual emails from people. So anyway.
Okay, well, maybe I'll respond to some of those tomorrow. That could be a fun thing to do.
The problem is that I went...
Are they super old?
No, they're all like within the last couple months.
Okay.
But the problem is none of them are marked as unread because to read them and then move them to the inbox, I had to actually open them.
Wait, so they're in our inbox just as like read emails?
They should be in the inbox as read emails now. If I did it correctly.
Well, what would you know? Maybe we should call our biology friend about if there are bears.
Bears in Georgia?
Oh yeah, look at this. What if you died on Mount Everest? What if I suggested oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Sorry, team.
Bunch of stuff. Sorry, guys.
Google dropped the ball there.
Yeah.
My name is Taylor, by the way. Would love to hear back from you guys. Keep up the good work. Cool email subject.
Tight.
Okay. So he saw Midfoot when he was 8. Later when he was 8, he was walking out to the barn and he saw a giant praying mantis being, which sprayed him with some sort of blue-gray liquid.
Gross.
And then ran away.
It's not the first time we've...
So a giant bug sneezed on him and then ran away.
It's like the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park when they get scared, they like venom on you and then run away.
What? Which dinosaurs? I don't remember that.
Remember the ones that got the
Oh yeah, they weren't scared though, weren't they? They were trying to eat Newman.
Yeah, but they were like, weren't they pissed off and afraid at the same time?
It's a reptilian.
Nice. Got him.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they were probably scared.
Got him.
So far, he got sneezed on by a giant praying mantis, and he saw a bear cub. The third one, he was again walking through a field on the way to his friend's house, and he got the sense that someone was watching him. And he hears what he says in the movie, a mooing sound, like a cow mooing.
It's probably an alien. Probably not a cow on the farm.
Ahead of him, he sees a little gray alien, like pop its head up out of the field, and it's staring at him. Then he sees a really bright white light. And the next thing he knows, he's standing in a different field, and he doesn't know how he got there.
Okay.
So, of course, he believes he was abducted by aliens.
Of course he was.
A fourth one, these are all from when he was a little kid living in Georgia. 8 gray aliens in blue suits just dropped out of the sky into a field. And he ran back to his house because, fuck that, aliens falling out of the sky. Later that night, he sees the same gray aliens outside of his window. They come into his room, take him outside, and they float up to some sort of craft where he's then in a room with the gray aliens and a tall alien woman who's just a woman, like a normal-looking human woman with an alien face.
Woof.
Yeah. There are lots of paintings of it if you want to check it out. Actually, give the words David Huggins a Google real quick.
Not particularly.
And then click images.
Okay, before I do that, I have to get rid of my existing Google, which is... my answer to, are there bears in Georgia?
Oh, yeah.
Fuck yeah, there are.
Okay.
Like...
black bears, brown bears? What do we got?
Black bears. And, like, this is a video of black bears roaming the neighborhoods of Atlanta, Georgia. It's like a mom and 2 cubs.
No, thank you.
And apparently, overall, there are over 2,200 bears in Georgia statewide. So
how do they know? Count them all?
Hell yeah, there are.
Okay.
No, they just do like the tagging and like they tag a certain number by area. And
hey, great transition because the tall alien lady stuck something up his nose, which he believes was to keep tabs on him after they put him back in his house. Because when he was older... Yes?
I'm just having a hard time with my Google search, that's all.
Oh, yeah, you get some cool images?
Oh, yeah. Like,
great.
I'm hearing you say, oh, good, there's literally a painting of her shoving something up his nose.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, good.
Ew, this shit's weird, bro.
Oh, yeah, they're super weird. Because they're just good enough to be creepy. Like, he's a pretty good painter.
Yeah, like the actual painting skills are pretty.
They're somewhat realistic, somewhat impressionistic.
The 8 dudes in the field.
Yeah, there you go. That's the one I was just talking about.
It's like you guys should Google this, but let me just describe for you that it's like a tree line with a field, and then there are like they look like 8 parachuters without parachutes slowly floating to the ground, and they all have the identical gray alien, like classic gray alien face, like pointed chin, big rounded top, big black eyes. This shit is the fucking weirdest, bro. What the fuck is this?
So if you're if you're keeping track,
weird.
Oh yeah, no, that's him on the left. That's his kid in the middle that he had with the alien woman on the right. We'll get there.
What?
Yeah. So far we have the gray aliens who sometimes wear blue suits. We have the hairy guy, which is probably Bigfoot. Yep, that's her. That's the alien woman. Uh-huh.
Very, very voluptuous and naked in this version.
Oh, of course. We've got the praying mantis guy, and then we have the alien woman who he says is named Crescent. That's her name.
That's a cool name.
And then there's a tall guy who has a knob on his head, who he claims is in charge.
Phrasing.
That's how David said it. When he was 17, he lost his virginity to Crescent, the alien lady who you just saw a photo of or a painting of.
Okay.
Quote, David, I couldn't get my pants down fast enough the first time he met her, which was just out in the woods by his house.
I guess we should probably say at this point that if you're gonna Google this,
they're not safe for work.
They're super not safe for work.
Don't probably give that Google if you have kids around or anything.
Sorry if you were already doing that. We've been talking about this for 10 minutes saying Google David Huggins.
We opened with, have you heard about the guy who had sex with aliens?
Good point. Good point. The lead should have given you guys some contextual clues.
As some of you probably anticipated, there is a lot of nudity in these paintings.
I don't know. I guess we've never really given people, well, no, we've warned people. Like, don't Google the bear stuff.
Or the Fatberg.
Ugh. We made some people throw up on Twitter with that one.
When he was 19, he left Georgia and he moved to New York City. And he's living in Manhattan. And he starts talking about how, so there was sort of, I don't know, I guess he's 72 now. So he was probably born in, how does math work? 56? Is that how math works?
Or 5.
Yeah.
Depending on when he was born.
Okay.
Right?
No.
Yeah, that works.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah, because if he was born in December of 56.
I don't know when these interviews were filmed with him, when he says he was 72, so he's probably older than that now. Whatever.
Okay.
He's living in New York in the 60s. And he starts talking about these things that happened to him while he's asleep, and he says it's like a dream, but it's not. And he wakes up one morning, and he hears a voice say, "We'll be back tonight." And this stuff has been happening for a while, and he's been trying to figure out, like, is this real? Are these just weird, fucked up dreams that I'm having? What's going on?
Right.
So his solution to this is to go out and buy flowers during the day and leave them in his room in a vase. And when the alien woman comes back, he'll tell her to take the flowers because they're for her. And then if they're not there, obviously there was an alien in his room who took the flowers.
It's the only reason.
And if they are there, then there wasn't, and he's just having some weird dreams. So that night, alien lady Crescent comes back, and he tells her that the flowers are for her, and when he wakes up in the morning, they're not there. So he concludes that Crescent is a real alien woman.
Totally.
Mm-hmm. Also, I don't know why I put this down in my notes, but I did. There's a quote from David that says, "That night we were rubbing our heads together. Next time you're with your girlfriend, try rubbing your heads together. Trust me." So I guess I felt that was noteworthy.
You know what? This guy obviously knows a lot of stuff we don't know, so...
Right. He says of Crescent, "She was my girlfriend, really, although it was a very unconventional relationship."
Oh, no shit. The fucking human-bodied, alien-faced alien woman who visits you in your dreams. It wasn't your average, Netflix and chill.
Well, in one regard, it was because what I've glossed over to this point is that he is fucking the alien woman every time that she comes over. And that's basically all that they do. She shows up in his room along with the little praying mantis guy. They fuck for a while, then they leave.
Okay. All right.
They also, he learns at one point, had an alien baby together, or a hybrid, if you will.
Gotta wrap it up, Dave.
Well, I don't know if he really had a choice.
Gotta hug. Never mind.
Pardon?
Nothing.
Okay.
I was trying to make his last name's Huggins, and I was trying to make never mind.
Yep.
Gotta start.
Didn't quite get there.
Hugging. Never mind. I'll workshop it.
Try one more time.
No, I'm going to workshop it. I'll come back. We're going to be on this story for a while. I'm going to workshop it. I'll come back.
He learns that they had an alien baby or an alien human hybrid baby together. And Crescent tells him one night that their alien baby is dying. And he insists on going to the spaceship that she is from or lives on or whatever.
To visit his alien baby?
To see the alien baby.
Before it dies, or to see if he can help?
Yes.
Yep. Totally.
And the baby appears to be dead or not moving already when he gets there, but he touches it, and his magical touching of the alien baby that's maybe his brings it back to life, and then it's fine. So she brings him into another room of the spaceship.
With a bunch of dead babies in it? What the fuck?
Where there are hundreds of these alien-human hybrid babies, which she informs him are all his, because they've been together for a while, and apparently
every night, dude. They got a 24-hour gestation period.
That's the word I couldn't think of. Thank you. Yeah, just
like,
keep cranking them out.
I'm going to need you to knock me up every Monday, Wednesday, Friday for the next 3 years.
And they're all struggling, so he goes around and just pokes each one of them, and then they're all fine.
Well, okay.
Yes.
Naturally, I have lots of questions.
I can't imagine why.
Was this the first time he ever said he'd been to the ship, or had he been up there before?
No, at least one other time when he was a kid, because
when they put the tracker in his
implant
nose?
thing up his nose.
Okay.
I don't know if that was the only other time or if there were many.
I would guess this would be one of the more memorable times.
When you saw your hundreds of offspring?
When you saw a factory of alien offspring you didn't know you had?
Oh, speaking of factories of aliens, he claims at one point that they handed him an alien inside a package. He calls it a packaged alien. There's a painting of it. I don't know if you would be able to find it.
Googling packaged alien real quick. See where that leads us. Yes, I am.
And there is a painting of it, and it's this alien that's been shrink wrapped and is small.
Tight.
And I guess that you remember did you ever have the dinosaurs as a kid that you could put into water and then they would expand?
Hell yeah, the little spongy ones?
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
basically that, but an alien, and it's alive and it's shrink wrapped.
Okay. And dope.
Yep.
Can we have one?
No, he said it freaked him out. That was the only part of this that freaked him out, apparently. Not having sex with the alien lady on a nightly basis for years.
The shrink-wrapped alien
that was
what
the line for him.
Took him over the edge. Mm-hmm. So...
How'd that Google go for you?
Well, actually, less weird or wild than you probably would have imagined it to be.
Just toys or something?
It's all alien movie... packaged toys.
Right,
However,
right. Painting,
I wonder if
maybe?
I do
or
David Huggins packaged alien painting. Please hold.
I'll keep going while you look that up. You're making some weird faces.
Is this it?
I don't know. I can't see your computer.
I'm turning it. Is that it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one. You should save that so we can post it.
Bruh. Why?
And he's barely a good enough painter to pull it off. It's I think he's trying to depict that there's plastic wrap over an alien and it's pushing against it, which is a really hard thing to paint.
And it also kind of makes the painting look like a cross between a mime, faking a wall, and also somehow the cover of the movie Dead Presidents. right?
Yeah.
See it?
You should save that picture.
Okay.
So he claims he had 60 or more of these encounters from the time that he was a kid up until like his early 20s.
He had more than that if he made hundreds of babies.
Well, right. I guess we don't really know how that process works.
True.
Because it probably doesn't. We need Sims here.
Because it's not real.
Yeah, I was listening back when I was editing that episode when he said, "And I'm your guest," or "Nah."
Oh shit!
We need that every week.
I gotta listen to that back.
It's a good one.
What was it? Was he saying that in defense of something he had just said?
No, it was in response to something I was saying about the crazy time traveling computer communication shit.
Okay. I gotta go back. That was fun. You guys seem to like that episode. Thanks for jamming.
I'm confused.
Thanks for jamming.
You hated when we had guests. I guess we had shitty guests. I don't know what it was.
Don't say that to our friends.
You guys just all hated Dwinell. I don't know what was going on.
Yeah, what the hell?
So he gets married, not to an alien, to a real human adult woman when he was 20-something.
Did he tell that real human adult woman about his history?
He did not for a long time.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't think you were going to actually have an answer to that.
I have all the answers about this, bro.
I'm sorry. I got to just interrupt you one more time. Nothing to me is funnier than this search for, I'm still going through David Huggins packaged alien looking for more stuff. And I've scrolled far enough down in the Google search that I'm getting just tons of random pictures of like aliens. And definitely in the same image, there is a picture of Alien Kama Sutra.
I mean, that could have been the name of the David Huggins story, really.
That's real.
The David Huggins story.
E.T. and Russell Brand.
These are different pictures. Okay, I was like, if this is one image, I don't want to see it.
No. It's like,
that's quite the Google you put together there.
I'm screen grabbing this.
Is that? I can't see what's on the bottom, but it looks like it might be like a cookie cutter alien shape. Is that what's going on? Bottom middle there? Because if there are alien cookie cutters, I think I need them.
That is a cool idea. It is not.
We can have the What If podcast bake sale.
It's a.
We got to do it in a state that's more fun than this one, though.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Well, although as of today, we don't know how much fun is going to be. Fuck them. That is actually the cutout you're seeing is a heart cutout in a cardboard box for the Lots of Huggin' Bear, which is a toy that apparently kids. Well, it's for kids, man. They hug the bear.
Doesn't make it less weird.
They hug the bear a lot.
Yeah,
tons of hugging.
Anyway, Dave gets married and has a kid, adult person, kid person, no aliens involved. And in 1987,
you have brothers and sisters, honey.
Hundreds. They live far away. In 87, he starts feeling what he calls a presence, which he thinks is the aliens coming back to visit him.
Of course he does.
So, as any reasonable person does, he read Bud Hopkins' book, Intruders. Are you familiar with Bud Hopkins?
I know that name, but I don't feel like I know why or who he is. If you say more, I might recognize him.
He was the dude who sort of started the whole hypnotic regression to determine people had been abducted by aliens thing.
Womp womp.
Also a painter, oddly enough. Oh. And he wrote a few books about some of the cases that he, quote unquote, studied and or made up and told to people. And one of those books was called Intruders, about a woman who got abducted by aliens many times over a long period of time.
Okay.
So Dave reads this book and then decides that he needs to go meet with Bud Hopkins to figure out what's happening to him.
Sure.
So we went from, which he's being obviously interviewed and he's doing all this painting and telling all these stories after that point. So early in his life, he didn't recall or didn't talk to anyone or didn't document any of this crazy alien shit that was happening to him.
And then all of a sudden,
he got hypnotized and all these memories came back to him, which is always the case with this shit. And
You know what? Well, go ahead.
no, go for it.
You know what I wonder about that sometimes is like my initial inclination with a lot of that stuff is to be like, people are making it up because
Making up what?
like making up. Oh, I do remember that. Like it's purely a fictional
Are you saying
invention in their
intentionally?
mind. Yes.
Oh, I don't think that happens very often.
So you think it's people who've just wanted to have an experience their whole lives who get hypnotized and then they just sort of believe that they do through some sort of suggestion versus desire versus...
I think the combination of something weird, unexplainable, and or traumatic happened to me, coupled with, I think it might be alien or paranormal related because that's something I'm aware of because I read this book, or in Huggins' case, I collect sci-fi horror movies. He has thousands of them in his house.
Thousands of sci-fi and horror movies?
Yes.
Well,
So-
that could help you have some weird ideas.
So those two things combined with, then I'm going to go to someone who I know studies alien abductions and let him hypnotize me and talk to me while I'm hypnotized for a to be determined amount of time, I
might
think could result in
smash
what
some stuff
feel like
together.
real memories,
Yeah.
especially if the brain is trying to cover up actual traumatic events,
Oh, that's a really interesting way to say that.
which he describes having in his life.
Because I feel like, yeah, that makes sense. Because I feel like I had this really great psych class in high school that was like, it was a full year-long developmental psychology class that we took. And it was a small group class. It was only like 12 people. And we had this really fascinating teacher who was just super wicked smart. And like once a month, we would have a session where we would get to like pick her brain and just ask her about weird shit that we were always curious about. And she would give us she was like a triple major and like had her master's and her PhD. And like, she was just like a crazy smart for being like a high school teacher. Anyway, so we would pick her brain about random topics. And if she didn't know an answer to something, she'd bring that answer to that back to us next month with what she'd like researched and synthesized.
Okay.
So it's kind of fun. It was like a fun little like fact-finding thing. Anyway, one time we asked her about deja vu and the concept of deja vu.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that she explained like what deja vu is to us. I don't know if we've talked
Past
about
lives,
this on the
duh.
show before. Yeah, past lives. I don't think we've talked about this on the show before, but basically like the way that she explained it is that your brain is constantly trying to fill holes in what's happening all the time with like what it already knows. So your brain knows that like a table is a table, right? And so when it sees a table, it just pulls from tables. This is a list of tables that I've seen in my life, and I can make out that like this looks like a table. It's the same concept of like cloud watching, right? When
This
people
is
go,
a table, and I could make out with an alien on it.
yes, score. Same concept with cloud watching, right? Where people are like, oh, the clouds are turning into shapes if I look at them. It's like, well, no, your brain just is programmed to recognize certain shapes.
Faces
And-
being probably the most important.
Right. And it fills those into the things that it doesn't fully understand.
Sure.
So,
We have a need to understand and then categorize or catalog things.
right. Totally. And I think
And
that,
recognize patterns even if there aren't any.
yes. And I think that that makes a ton of sense the way that you said, like, using, if you've got a bunch of stuff that you do recognize because it's
Wait,
stimuli.
what did that have to do with deja vu?
Nothing specifically with deja vu. I just pointed out the deja vu thing as the way to like, that your brain is constantly pulling from what it has to fill holes in your brain.
How does that explain deja vu, though?
What do you mean? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I didn't get back to that. That your brain is basically, if you think you've been somewhere before, that's like your brain pulling on something to the point where it makes you almost think that it's a memory.
So
You know
if
what
I
I'm saying?
see a building that is actually new to me, my brain might try and compare it or relate it to other
To a-
buildings I've seen in other places.
Yes.
And then that will make it feel familiar even if it's not.
Exactly.
Okay.
To the extent with which you might go, oh, I feel like I've seen this building before. And even though you haven't, your brain gives you that sensation because it's pulling from
Has
its
some-
previous sense of stimuli.
Sure.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. And I think that it's totally applicable, right, to a guy like this, like especially like you said, if he's got a ton of shit to pull from and he's got these traumatic holes in his life that potentially he's trying to fill or find a reasoning for or whatever.
And then you combine it with hypnosis, which the whole point of hypnosis is that you're suggestible.
Right. Implanting ideas.
And then it's not an impartial person doing the hypnosis. It's somebody who believes in and perpetuates and writes about and profits from alien abduction and alien abduction stories.
So dangerous, man.
Yeah, it fucking is.
So dangerous.
Yes. Especially when you're talking about, I pulled a few quotes that David says in the movie about trauma that happened to him when he was young. Because I think it's even more dangerous when you're using that to, and I'm not saying this is always the case or even necessarily the case ever, but I think it's possible that the brain is more comfortable accepting something paranormal or otherworldly than dealing with real life personal trauma.
Hell yeah. Absolutely.
And there are 3 quotes I wrote down from him where he says, I was traumatized, but after I started doing the paintings, I calmed down.
Okay.
So it's also, art can
sorts.
definitely be therapeutic and a coping mechanism for people.
Yeah, for sure.
The other one is my mother and father drank a great deal. If I was around, I usually got hit with something. And they would fight like cats and dogs. Dad was seeing other women. It was like hell, really. Talking about his childhood.
Sure.
So, and I know that's put into the film intentionally to try and tell a story, but I also think it's a valid point that, because eventually you get to, well, David definitely believes all this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And if it's not happening exactly as he says it is, because there's no evidence of that other than him saying it, what actually is going on?
Right.
Which is a equally tricky question, I think.
No doubt. And I feel like that's a question that we often find ourselves asking on the show in general, right? It's like, if this isn't the case,
If it's not a ghost or a past life or an alien or
what is actually happening
something
here?
Strange is still going on.
Right.
The last quote I wrote down from him about this is, quote, I read the book, referring to Intruders, and several months later we got divorced.
Uh-oh.
So when he started going down this path of the hypnotic regressions and coming to terms with like maybe all this stuff did happen to me, he decided to tell his wife about it. And she bounced. Yep.
That's kind of sad. I mean, I get it, kind of.
Also, you're opening with, the whole time we've been together, I've been having sex with somebody else. Like, maybe not the best.
That's true.
Maybe not the best opening to that conversation.
But she's an alien. It's different.
Right? Although he also says that he's essentially paralyzed during these moments. So maybe it doesn't sound like it's weird because it doesn't sound like he's totally complicit. But then he also says at the end of the movie, he would have, if he had the choice, he would have left with them, with the aliens.
Oh.
And lived with them rather than living on Earth. And he says, quote, I wouldn't have missed it at all, talking about life on Earth.
Sick burn.
Well.
Sick us burn.
I'm going to guess as a older man who has built his life around painting pictures of himself having sex with aliens, there are probably some people who aren't real kind to him.
Yeah. And also, I can imagine that if that's what he's turned his life's obsession or fascination into, that he's like, yeah, no, this is just it for me. This is
right.
This is my A1.
He's kind of pot committed to the whole fucking aliens thing at this point.
And documenting the shit out of it.
Just one more thing about the if it's not aliens, what is it thing?
Okay, cool. Because I have lots more questions about this. I hope.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the movie, there's an interview with a guy named Jeffrey Kripal, Kripal.
That's pronounced cripple, Spencer.
Cripple. Jeff the Cripple is, Jesus. I was going to, He's a professor of religion from Rice University. And his whole thing is studying religious and erotic experiences in history.
Whoa.
And apparently there's a large catalog of those types of experiences that
That's
are both
pretty interesting.
spiritual or religious and also somehow erotic.
Huh.
Going way, way back in time. And he says in the film, the whole history of religion is essentially strange beings coming from the sky to do strange things to human beings. Which is not that far off. Like,
Yeah.
back in the day, it used to be angels or demons
Yeah,
or
it's not really
spirits
lying.
or whatever. And now it's aliens because technology is a thing that we're familiar with. And
Right.
space travel is a thing we're familiar with.
Right.
But maybe there's something deeper that is happening that is being over time interpreted through different lenses and different perspectives based on where we are as human beings and as cultures.
That's pretty interesting.
He says, I absolutely believe David. What is happening to him, though, is an entirely different question. Meaning,
Whoa.
yeah. Meaning, I think he...
Whoa. That's a crazy way to say that.
Well, I
Not
mean,
a crazy way to say it, but like it's like that's a
it's basically what we were just saying is like,
right.
I don't think you're lying to me. I also don't think that those things happen to you.
Right.
So
I think you think this.
Right. I mean, we talked about this with Mike too, and on the UFO episode way back when.
Right.
I don't think you're lying to me. You wouldn't have anything to gain from lying to me or to anyone else. You're not
Right.
profiting from this in any way. In a lot of ways, it's made your life worse,
Harder. Yeah.
and yet I don't believe that what you're describing really happened, or at least in the way that you're describing it.
Right.
And I don't know how to. I just don't know what that means then.
Yeah, it's I feel like they're always really hard to justify. And I think that's also why a lot of these stories and situations are often met with ridicule because people don't go the next step of, so what is happening to you if you believe this is a real thing? It's just so outrageous for someone to believe that it's a thing even remotely that it's just entirely written off and dismissed.
And yet there is a catalog of these experiences going back thousands of years in human history.
For sure, real talk.
With slight variations, but the concept is the same.
No doubt.
That you have an encounter with some being that is not a human, and it's somehow sexual in nature.
Right.
That's been happening consistently for thousands of years. So it's not nothing.
Right. I mean, also, like, I don't know, like, I think about things like sleep paralysis, and I think about things like fucking middle school boys been having wet dreams for 10,000 years too. Like, put them together and what do you got? I mean,
we
I
are
don't
inherently
know.
sexual beings.
Right.
But yeah, I guess I just, and we do at the end of the day all have basically the same wiring and the same components. So I guess that might explain some of the similarities in the stories over
Right.
time. Like the human brain hasn't really changed in thousands of years.
Yeah, in the way that our senses function to physically and mentally experience.
But even then, why is it such a small portion of the population that has those experiences? And
Yeah.
Why is it so different from other? I mean, I think it is super suspicious that these things happen at night, or in a dream like or in between awake and sleep state.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen to everyone, and even the people that it does happen to, it doesn't happen all the time.
Right.
And so, is that just some sort of psychological something?
But you could also say that about like a lot or most of the shit we talk about, right? Like a lot of people that swear they see ghosts or swear they've
Right.
been abducted by aliens or
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like the more interesting question to me is not, is that happening the way you said it's happening or not? The more interesting question is, what is actually happening? Rather than looking at it as you say it's a ghost, I'm going to dismiss that it's a ghost or believe you that it's a ghost. Looking at it from the lens of some really weird shit happened to me. What was it?
Right.
rather than, or at least testing multiple hypotheses about what it is, instead of just saying, no, I know it's this without testing it.
Right.
And the rest of the world saying, well, that's not a very scientific or logical way to approach this, so I'm just going to dismiss it entirely.
Yeah.
But it's hard because if, from any scientific standpoint, the answer is nothing happened because there's no evidence of it.
I was just thinking that same thought. And I was wondering, has anybody, probably not, has anybody ever documented, like, has anybody been having a CAT scan or like an MRI, like while they've had a encounter or something like that? I don't know.
Well, there was, who was the God helmet guy?
Oh, that's true.
Who was able to invoke religious or out-of-body experiences through stimulating certain parts of the brain.
Right.
I don't remember his name right now. But
I don't either. But
so
I remember what you're talking about.
People who have approached it from that angle of trying to recreate that experience.
No, and I guess I mean more like, is there a brain chemistry thing, signals that are happening in specific places that we don't fully understand, certain wavelengths in your brain that some people are more prone to or akin to, or...
You got some DMT leaking out.
You got plug your DMT hole. Get yourself a cork.
You sprung a leak.
You sprung a DMT leak. You're going to have crazy dreams. You better watch out. You're going to see some shit.
Yeah, doctor, I've been seeing vibrating basketballs everywhere that talk to me.
Stick a cork in it, Dad. You fucking weirdo. I don't know.
Yeah, machine elves are just showing up everywhere lately, bro.
Why is my doctor an ignorant Southern accent? What the fuck is that?
For some reason, I really thought you were going to say, why is my doctor an ignorant slut? And I was like, that's super aggressive.
Jane, you ignorant slut.
Yeah, I don't know,
no,
man.
seriously, my doctor the other day. No, I'm just kidding.
Dude, I went to the chiropractor the other day.
Yeah. Did you get crunched?
Highly recommended. I forgot how great it is. I hadn't been in a couple of years.
I haven't been in like a decade.
Oh, go.
Did it just...
Yeah, it's great. They loosen everything up. You hear some weird noises. They move your neck in a way that feels like you might die for half a second.
Yeah, and then you're totally fine.
Yeah, it's great. It's invigorating.
I remember the first time I ever did it, because they give you that warning too. They're like...
It doesn't really prep you for it, though.
No. In more or less words, they're like, I need you to relax. I'm about to whip the shit out of your neck. And if you don't relax, I could actually break it. So you need to really, really relax your neck, even while I'm whipping the shit out of it.
That's why we need legal weed, bro.
Yeah. Because I think I was like, I don't know, I was like 17 or 18 at the time when I started going to a chiropractor. And I was like, okay.
What for?
We've talked about this on the show before. So I'm 6'5", and there was a period in high school from like basically my sophomore year in high school to my senior year in high school where I grew like 6 inches in like 2.5 years, basically.
Okay.
And
isn't that pretty normal for that age?
Yeah, it was a more than average. I went from like 5'8" to like 6'4", 6'5" in like 2 years or something like that.
Okay.
I guess the long and short of it was my doctor was like, yeah, your muscle mass like didn't keep up with your actual bone structure.
Weak ass little boy.
Yeah, for real. He was like, your back muscles were like, fucking slow down, bro. We got to catch up. So I had a bunch of
deadlifts, my guy.
Yeah, I should have. Dude, I was eating fucking all the food I could eat and playing basketball and still couldn't gain muscle. Anyway, so I had to go to the chiropractor because the chiropractor was helping my spine that was weak ass, sad spine.
Weak ass looking spine.
Weak ass fucking skeleton ass having boy.
Dude, I feel like, and we've talked about this in the past, but I'm going to expand on it. If everyone had access to, and we're getting closer, sort of, and then taking giant leaps backwards every once in a while. If everyone had access to massage, a chiropractor, a therapist, and weed, I think we eliminate like 99% of the world's problems.
And if we can add a way to have a positive sex situation in there as well.
Right.
If we checked all of those boxes, there would officially not be.
I feel like they would all help each other too, though.
Oh, no doubt.
You know,
No doubt.
like how many problems would just disappear if everyone went to therapy once a week?
I mean, I would say
Most, right?
a lot for sure.
And then for the other ones, you could smoke weed, and then your body would also feel good. Like you're done. You got no problems. You got a job. I guess we need that. We need employment.
We do need employment. You gotta be able to.
You need to get laid in a safe situation once in a while.
Right.
Then we'd be set.
We'd be super set. Why can't that be a campaign for a presidential candidate?
I mean, I don't know what
Listen.
I don't know what the Democrats are doing next year, but that should probably be it.
What do you think about NAFTA? The list was short.
Damn it, Steve. It was 5 things. Keep up.
I didn't say trade. I said employment, therapy, weed,
and body work. That's it.
Simple.
I don't know, man.
Life's not that hard.
It shouldn't be.
All right, I have some more David Huggins questions.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay. So
This is just now the what if you had sex with an alien episode. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
Because we're 51 minutes into this, and I got shit to do later, so.
Yeah. Okay, so my question is, so how did this dude get a documentary made out of him?
I mean, it's a fantastic story. How it's.
Well, right, but I guess the question I'm asking is this dude famous? Did somebody just stumble across him? Is he selling his paintings for vast amounts of money?
He's shown some paintings. Someone wrote a book about him with images of the paintings a few years before the movie was made. So I think I can't remember the director's name, but I think the filmmaker just came across either that book or someone who was familiar with his art.
Right. Okay.
I don't know. I don't think it was a huge story, but if you hear about it, it's fucking weird, and you're probably going to tell somebody else about it.
Yeah, it's true. Nice work with the brand there, my guy.
Right?
Being like,
he found his niche.
Yeah.
Hey, you fucked an alien? Nope. Okay,
No.
This is me then.
Yep.
Got this.
That so is it too. Like, want to hear a story you've never heard before? I've been
Right.
fucking alien since I was 17.
Never have I ever inserted my penis into someone from outer space. No, I'm the only one drinking? Okay.
Dave just drinks a 60-pack of beer, just like bloop, 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 bloop. Word.
So, yeah, I don't know. Some filmmaker found this wild-ass story and made a very, very solid documentary about it.
I guess he's probably getting some money off the documentary then, too, since it's like the rights to his life, essentially.
I would hope so.
I would hope so, too.
I don't know how much. I mean, I can't imagine they're going to make a lot of money off the film.
No, did it show anywhere, or is it going to show anywhere? Or I guess
know.
if it's already on Amazon, it's not showing anywhere, so that won't work.
It may have previously. I don't know how long it's been out for.
Yeah.
I would guess they did some festivals and stuff at least, which, again, doesn't make you any money, but.
No, but might make you more money once you put it on.
I gave him $5 today.
You sure did.
Yep. I think that might be my first business expense of 2018.
Hey!
Off to a great start.
Fuck with your boy.
$5 towards alien sex. Yes, please.
Yes, please. Word. Well, shit. I guess that's something. We'll save my news stories for next week's.
Give us one.
Next week's Patreon.
Give us one.
Why we're so good with
Because they're gonna be old news. They're gonna be old news by next week anyway. So you might as well hit us with it now. Talking is hard, man.
Talking is hard. We only kind of do it for 5 hours a fucking week,
And we still suck at it.
still fucking.
That whole practice
suck.
thing is a fucking myth.
Did you hear?
Maybe you got to give me a little more.
I had to get to the right tab. I was wrong. I was in so many wrong tabs.
Too many just alien tits all up in your face.
So many alien boobies.
The one where he's sucking on it, by the way, is
Bummer.
he's
Sorry,
teaching. What?
Sorry, we had to say that, guys.
Speak for yourself. I felt pretty good about it. He's teaching his alien babies how to nurse. It was his explanation for what's going on in that.
Okay, David. Okay. Yeah. Okie dokie.
You got your tab situated there yet?
I got my
pal?
tab situated. Did you hear that iguanas are jumping out of trees in Florida?
No.
So
They got parachutes? They should be safe.
This one will be old news by the time we come around, but this shit made me laugh my ass off. And maybe it shouldn't, but so you know how there's this crazy cold bomb? Cold bomb.
Yeah, Florida got dicked.
Florida got dicked, and it's like way colder in Florida than anyone has seen in there in a really long time.
My brother and sister-in-law were up here last week when it was like negative 15 every day.
Yep.
And then they went back to Florida where they live the day before it was super cold and snowy in Florida.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Double the winter.
Nice.
Fuck them.
Fuck them. They earned it. So it's been like below 40 degrees there. And because iguanas are warm-blooded,
yeah,
they're freezing and falling out of trees.
Well, that sucks.
But they're not dying. They're just frozen.
The fall doesn't hurt them, though?
Well, I
they
guess...
don't just shatter when they hit the ground?
Just shards of iguana shards.
Ugh.
Ooh.
Falling out of a tree has got to hurt any animal, right?
Do we just come up with a new band name? Iguana Shards?
If you...
Iguanashards.com.
As long as you don't make any promises about t-shirts.
Hey. We're making iguana shard shirts. But yeah, no, Florida officials are warning people not to touch them because by touching them, they might be warmed back up and they might wake up and bite you. So they're like, if you see a frozen ass like iguana chilling on the ground, it's probably not dead. It's just like
he wakes up, he's like,
yeah, for sure,
starts
man.
biting that thing. He's like, fuck, where am I? Who are you?
I'm scared.
Abducted?
What are you?
I got abducted.
Fuck you.
Dude, I started watching Planet Earth 2 the other night.
Oh my God, dude, this season is so good.
Have you seen it?
Hell yeah.
I watched the Islands one.
It's the best
with
one of
all
this
the iguanas.
Yeah, it's the best one.
And the ocean iguanas, those guys are pretty badass. Except seeing them getting eaten by a herd of snakes is disgusting.
It is pretty intense. But the one, well, I won't say it. Just watch it. Just watch the Islands episode. But the way that bit ends is like so phenomenal.
Triumphant. I also watched the Cities one. And I didn't
see that one.
I think it's the last one.
I watched like the first half.
My wife is a transportation planner, and we sat down to watch one together, and obviously it was the one about cities, even on a nature show. But they
do they have mooses on their buses? Let's watch it.
There's a gorilla driving that train. The shots that they're able to get are insane to the point where I just don't really understand how that show is made.
I say this every time I watch an episode of that show.
How are you getting 6 different angles of a fucking monkey fight in the middle of Mumbai? And you're getting sound and you're getting coverage of the entire city and you're tracking... I guess I wouldn't. Maybe it's just a bunch of different monkeys, and I don't know what monkeys look like. But like, just the amount of coverage and the shots that they're able to get, and the rain, like how close they're able to get to a bunch of them.
Well, so one thing that I wondered about the proximity stuff is, do they just have $150,000 cameras with insane telescopic lenses on them that are...
Yes, I'm sure that's part of it is super long lenses, and I'm sure some of it is drones as well. But still, to be able to pull that off, like, because it's not just, a lot of them are not just still shots. A lot of them are tracking, or they're following the fucking sloth swimming across the river.
Yes, totally. I did the same thing. I was like, how did they get that
from
shot?
multiple angles?
Right.
How is that possible? I really need to talk to a filmmaker about the shit and have them explain what's going on.
They did do some making of Planet Earth in the first season and talked a little bit about how like some of the shit that they were doing was just straight up volume.
It has to be.
Like
it has to
dudes would go sit in the same tree stand for 10 hours a day
until you get something good, and then we'll tell a story about it
for like 3 weeks or 4 weeks at a time.
Because so much of the sound is all just recreated in the edit.
I'm sure. Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, I watched that monkey scene I was talking about from the Cities one, where I don't think a single sound was from any of the shots.
Sure.
It's just all Foley and sampled and replayed and shit.
Right. Which makes sense, and I'm not mad at that.
They do an incredible job of it.
Yeah.
I mean, you would have to get. You're not going to get the sound of a monkey's feet on the roof as he's running. It would be impossible.
Yeah. especially in the city of Mumbai, where there's probably a lot of other sounds going
exactly.
on. But yeah, no, that season is super impressive. I highly recommend everyone watch.
Just the production value is insane.
Yeah, and it's very obvious the way that both like the budget and the technology got better after the first season.
Oh, yeah. It was 10 years apart, wasn't it?
Right, almost literally 10 years.
Yeah.
But the first one itself, still to this day, I go back to the first one and watch a random episode every once in a while. I'm just like, fuck, that's impressive. Every time I watch the first season, still. But then you watch the second season, and every shot is just a holy fuck moment. Highly recommend it.
We gotta go.
We gotta go. We love you guys. Thanks for supporting the pod. It means the world to us. We love you guys. Have an awesome week.
Bye.
Bye.
We'll be back next week with another episode of the What If Podcast. Learn more at www.whatifpodcast.com.